What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode 272 of the A2D from Addict to Disciple podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, subscribe, follow, and share the link with your friends. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook of From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. Again, today's episode is number 272 of the A2D from Addict to Disciple podcast, and it's entitled Bald-Faced Lies. And we're going to be going on a walkabout on a brand new park called Bald-Faced Lies Park. And actually, I was just informed when I got here that I'm the first one going through it. It's just brand new. So there are journals at the various stops, but they said no one's been through yet to write in the journals. So what I'll do when I get to each of the signs and each of the stops, I'll just ask you, what would you write in the journal? So you might want to have a pen and paper available to pause this as you listen to it and write down your answers. And I'd be happy if you want to send them to me. That'd be awesome. Okay, we're at the beginning of the park here, and it says, a bald-faced lie is a lie that is told without shame or fear of being caught, and is obvious and unambiguous. For example, you might describe a lie as bald-faced if it is so brazen that the teller doesn't care if it's recognized as a lie. In the park today, we'll look at some of the reasons why addicts lie and how that affects their family, their friends, and themselves. Enjoy your walkabout in the park. Okay, good introduction. Let's go down the path and see what the first sign has to say. It says a common type of bald-faced lie addicts use is the art of deception. This involves half-truths, changing the topic, responding to questions with a question. So what would you write in your journal for this? Again, it's saying that the first type of bald-faced lie that addicts tell is the art of deception. So it's those half-truths, those switching the topic, maybe blame shifting, responding to questions with a question, so that you can avoid having to talk about what the people want to talk about. Do you tell those type of lies to your friends and family? And are they aware of them? Are they unambiguous, but they just don't bother to call you out on it because they don't want to get into the argument? Okay, let's go down the path to the next sign. And it says, another common type of bald-faced lie that addicts use is minimization. This involves downplaying how much they use, how often they use, and the severity of possible side effects of consequences. Okay, so we got a second category here, and that's minimization. And they're calling that a bald-faced lie because it comes when people call us out and say, you're using way too much, you came home drunk, where were you on your binge, that sort of thing. And we say, no, I'm not using that much. We might say, I don't use as much as someone else does, and I can stop anytime I want to, or even if it's something like getting a DUI, being able to minimize and say, well, the DUI wasn't my fault. I was driving fine. They stopped me because there was a tail light out or something like that. Okay, let's go down to the next sign. And it says another type of bald-faced lie addicts use is saying they have their use under control. This involves saying they could stop at any time. Is that you, where fear of being out of control makes you continually lie that you're in control, lie that you don't have an addiction, that you can stop anytime you want to, that you only use it occasionally, that you're not hurting anyone but yourself, and you're not even hurting yourself because you have it under control. Or if you're an alcoholic, maybe saying, I only drink on the weekend, so you see, I do have it under control, and therefore I could stop at any time. I stop Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday every week. Okay, let's go down the path and see what the next sign has to say. Another type of bald-faced lies addicts use is to manipulate others for money, to avoid losing a relationship, to take advantage of anyone, especially their loved ones, so they can get what they want. Wow. So it's this category of bald-faced lies of manipulation, and they're saying the motives are typically getting money so that we can get the drugs or the alcohol that we want. It's taking advantage of someone, so lying to them so that we can get what our wants, especially our loved ones. And this is a tough category and may require you to really look deep into yourself, because how many of you have told a lie like, well, the kids don't know what's going on, so it's okay. Saying, I'm under a lot of stress, it's okay. I'm still employed, it's okay. And you're saying all those things to build yourself up to be able to manipulate other people. So it's slightly different than saying, I still have it all under control. It's saying, look, I'm normal, I'm functional, I'm functioning. There's nothing dysfunctional about what's going on in me. And we're really manipulating them to get stuff out of that. And the money one, how many times have you told just a bald-faced lie about why you needed the money to get it out of friends or family that you know would give it, or church people or whatever, outreach workers? Just told the lie so that you could get the money, so you could get what you want. And you figure that they didn't even know you were lying. Okay, we'll go down to the next sign. And it says, remember, addicts lie to themselves first. This allows them to hide the truth, and it's key in keeping their feelings and emotions numb. Whew. This is a deep one here as we're coming towards the end of this park today. Addicts lie to themselves first. And for any friends and family members who are listening, maybe you haven't realized that your loved one who is an addict always lies to themselves first. And most of the time it gets to the point where they believe the lie they've told themselves, and that allows them to lie to you. And the lie itself helps them numb or hide their feelings, hide their emotions, which is the same thing the drug is doing. So it's almost like the lie in itself is a drug that can help them numb their feelings and emotions so they don't have to face them. Okay, so 5 signs as we go through this park. I hope some of you have been pausing and writing down what you would write in the journal. Let's go down and see what they say as we get to the end of the park. And it's just a closing that says, addicts may lie to justify their continued substance use, even if it means sacrificing their relationships and well-being. And this can be a difficult concept for friends and family to understand. Wow. And that's really true. I think as we end this Bald-Faced Lies Park walk today, the walkabout today, it's important to look at that, to realize that, in addiction, we lie to justify our use, our continued use, and we'll see it because we lied to ourselves that it's use and not abuse, and that we're not addicted. And we can see that we're hurting our loved ones. We can see that it's costing us relationships. It's costing us family, future hopes and dreams. And it's hard for friends and family to understand that in the midst of all those lies, that they're not number one in the addict's mind and in the addict's behavior choices. But I think it's important to realize that one that came out in the earlier sign, that they lie to themselves first in order to get on with their life. And I see they have a quote board at the end of this park, so let me just read the quotes that they have on it. First one is anonymous, and it says, a bald spot is like a lie. The bigger it gets, the harder it is to cover it up. A little humor there as it ties itself into the bald-faced lie part. A bald spot is like a lie. The bigger it gets, the harder it is to cover it up. The next quote says, Don't ask me anything and I won't tell you any lies. And that's also anonymous. Have you been in that place in your head where you are in certain groups or certain family situations and you're hoping they don't ask you anything so you won't have to tell them any more lies? The third quote they have is, common sense is like deodorant. Those who need it the most never use it. And I think they're tying that into just the idea that a lot of our lies don't even make any sense. But it's like deodorant. The people who need it most don't use it. And then the next one is also anonymous, and it says, if lying was a job, I know someone who would be a billionaire. Is that what your family might be saying as they're thinking of you and your addiction? And then they have two quotes by Winston Churchill. First one says, a lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on. And I think that's an important one, that we can stop and say, you know what, we may think we're getting away with our lies, but this lie's getting all around the world, all around the neighborhood, all around our family before the truth even has a chance to get its pants on. And the last one by Winston Churchill says, I no longer listen to what people say, I just watch what they do. Behavior never lies. Shaw. And that Winston Churchill said that, but I'm sure many of you could say, phew, my mom, my dad, my spouse, my kids, my family would say that about me. Well, thank you for going on this walkabout with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you were saying that's me, I want to encourage you to reach out and talk to someone. You can contact me by email at davidfroma2d@gmail.com, or go to my website, www.froma2d.org, and click on the contact page. Keep listening to future episodes, and as always, stay safe and stay resilient.